Tomorrow, the switchover from analogue to digital TV begins in the early hours of the morning. The analogue BBC2 signal will be turned off permanently. That only affects BBC2. Any other channel affected tomorrow?
Well, if you don't retune tomorrow, you'll actually find a lot of channels missing. All your BBC channels are missing. Towards the end of October, the 24th. Permanently, all channels will be switched off analogue. Any chance that a few might be left there? No, unfortunately not. No, analogue television across the UK will switch off on the 24th of October, so we're the last part of the UK to make the switch. So tomorrow marks the start of the process. It happens over 2 weeks to give people a bit more time to make sure by the 24th they're watching digital on all their sets.
This is BBC2 Northern Ireland, where programmes will continue in just a minute, unless you're watching on analogue television, that is. Yes, Northern Ireland's digital switchover starts here.
Shortly, we'll be turning off this analogue channel forever.
And overnight, turning on some of the new high-power Freeview transmitters. This will mean that there'll be disruption to all BBC services on Freeview through the night. Analogue BBC1 Northern Ireland will also be off-air in some areas. All remaining analogue television will cease transmission in 2 weeks' time.
If you or someone you know needs help or advice in switching to digital or with retuning,
you can contact Digital UK on 08456 50 50 50 from 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Or you can visit the website at digitaluk.co.uk. So now, analogue viewers should switch to their digital services to continue watching BBC2 Northern Ireland. If you're viewing on cable or satellite, you don't need to do anything. However, if you're watching on Freeview, you may need to retune your equipment tomorrow, and again when digital switchover completes on the 24th of this month. After 48.5 years, this is where BBC2 says goodbye to analogue television.
That was it. It worked.
The first part of it is over. Digital switchover started in Northern Ireland last night when the BBC2 analogue service was turned off for good. The transition to digital services will be completed in a fortnight's time when the rest of the analogue signal is switched off as well.
Now, it's the end of an era tonight as Northern Ireland completes the digital switchover. The analogue signal will be turned off, and to mark the technological milestone, the first ever joint BBC UTV programme is due to be broadcast shortly.
Television history in the making as we mark digital switchover with the Magic Box, celebrating decades of local television programmes in a joint broadcast between UTV and the BBC.
There is an important message to come out of all this. The fact that at 11:30 tonight, all analogue channels will be gone.
Hello and good evening from BBC1 here in Northern Ireland, where, as I hope you know by now, analogue television transmissions will be coming to an end in just over an hour's time. As it's obviously a special occasion, we thought we'd allow one of our colleagues from the other side to introduce our next programme. So Julian, it's over to you.
Coming up next on UTV is the Magic Box. Here, hold on a minute, it's on the BBC. No, listen, I'm UTV. BBC. It's awful confusing. Anyway, sit back and enjoy this spectacular UTV BBC simulcast. What in the name of heavens is a simulcast? Amen!
It's an exciting time in Northern Ireland where in a few moments we will be making the switch from analogue to digital TV. We hope you have switched all your TV sets to digital. If you have any questions or need help, visit digitaluk.co.uk or call 08456 50 50 50, or you can go to our website at u.tv/DSO. If you need this information in an alternative format, call 0845 454 0015. If you have a hearing or speech impairment, you can contact Digital UK text phone service on 0845 234 0380. Calls provided by BT are charged at up to 2 pence per minute daytime and 5 pence per minute evenings, plus 6 pence BT connection charge. Rates may vary for calls from other providers, including mobile operators.
Oh, see why not? Oh, there's that way now.
This is BBC1 Northern Ireland, where programmes will continue in a few moments, unless you're watching on analogue television. The final stage of digital switchover is about to get underway.
In a few moments we'll be turning off this and all remaining analogue channels forever.
And overnight turning on the remaining new high-power Freeview transmitters.
This will mean there will be disruption to some services on Freeview through the night, and you may need to retune your TV or set-top box tomorrow.
Satellite and cable viewers are not affected. If you or someone you know needs help or advice with switching to digital or with retuning, you
can contact Digital UK on 08456 50 50 50 from 8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Calls cost up to 5 pence per minute for most landlines, though calls from mobiles may cost considerably more.
You can also visit the website at digitaluk.co.uk, which has information on how to retune. Analogue television has seen many technological advances and additions since the days of Baird and Marconi. From 405 line black and white to 625 line colour, the introduction of CFAX, the world's first teletext system, and NICAM stereo, to name just a few. The move to digital television will allow technology to advance still further, providing even more services. And so, from tomorrow morning, BBC1 Northern Ireland will be available in high definition on Freeview, satellite and cable. Now though, we enter a new era of broadcasting, as this becomes a fully digital UK. From the analogue BBC television service, good night and goodbye.
And a little bit of television history was made in Northern Ireland last night when it became the last part of the UK to switch off its analogue signal. It means everyone here is now only able to watch TV digitally, as Julie McCulloch reports.
This was the moment the new digital age began, when just before midnight, Dame Mary Peters switched off Northern Ireland's analogue transmitter at Divis in Belfast. To mark the occasion, there was a special programme broadcast simultaneously on the BBC and UTV, highlighting what are considered to be some of the best moments in Northern Ireland television over the past 60 years.
Phenomenon. Can't get that.
Switching to digital has been the biggest change to TV since the move from black and white to colour. It has also meant an end to 38 years of CFAX. For people who do need some help with the switchover process, there are a number of advice points across Northern Ireland today and tomorrow. Julie McCulloch, BBC Newsline.